Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about ergogenic aids and supplements for athletes. Ergogenic aids are aids that are intended to enhance performance, endurance, or recovery, and supplements are something that can complete or enhance your training. Before I start this, I just want to say that we're only going to discuss things that are not on the World Anti-Doping Prohibited list. We're going to talk about legal ergogenic aids and legal supplements for athletes. You should be aware of what's on the prohibited list and be very careful with supplements to make sure that your athletes are not taking anything that is on this list. So there are various categories of ergogenic aids. I call them here Category A, ergogenic aids, they perform as claimed. Category B and C may perform or do not perform as claimed. And then Category D, these are dangerous, illegal, or banned substances. We're really going to focus on Category A, ergogenic aids that probably perform as claimed in most athletes. Let's start with the first one, which is demonstrated to work in almost all athletes. That's caffeine. Caffeine can be consumed if you're a low caffeine consumer or a high caffeine consumer, and in all cases caffeine improves endurance performance and can enhance performance for strength activities as well. This is a study showing that low caffeine consumers produce faster time trials with caffeine, as do moderate and high caffeine consumers. You should always consider taking caffeine or adding caffeine to both your training and certainly your racing schedule. The dose of caffeine that is required is 100 to 200 milligrams. That effect will last 3 to 5 hours. The timing of caffeine should be 40 to 60 minutes prior to the dose of exercise or the race. You can take alertness aids such as these NoDoz, which are caffeine and contain 200 milligrams of caffeine if you don't like coffee. But coffee is a perfectly good way to take in your caffeine. The upper limit for caffeine is about 400 milligrams per day, so be careful with that. Another dietary supplement that works for strength athletes is creatine. The dose is approximately 5 grams per day, but it needs to be taken for more than 2 days. In fact, up to 10 weeks is typically recommended. Phosphocreatine or creatine will help with in resistance training and sprint performance. However, with ingestion of creatine, most athletes will see a weight gain as creatine is highly hydrated with water in your body, so you will likely become heavier when ingesting creatine. There is no upper limit tested for creatine, although it has been studied for up to 1 year at the 5 grams per day dose and is safe in those for that length of time. Next, beet juice. This is one of my favorites. The goal is to have 400 to 800 milligrams of nitrates. The timing for beet juice would be 60 minutes prior to exercise. It's thought to enhance your VO2 max, that's the maximum oxygen uptake, by about 1 to 2%. I would say that this is athlete dependent. So some athletes respond and other athletes do not respond to ingestion of beet juice. The mechanism is that the nitrates are thought to produce nitric oxide, which dilates blood vessels and increases blood flow and blood delivery and oxygen delivery to the muscles. No upper limit has been determined. However, if you drink beet juice regularly, you will definitely start to pee red. Next, sodium bicarbonate. This one is one that you may want to try. The dose is 300 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. The effects last 3 to 5 hours. The timing for ingesting baking soda or sodium bicarbonate is 2 to 3 hours prior to exercise. It may enhance endurance activity, lasting longer than 2 minutes. The mechanism is that the basic sodium bicarbonate buffers pH changes produced by lactic acid. Now, sodium bicarbonate ingestion will likely exceed your dietary reference intake upper limit for sodium. So be cautious with taking in sodium bicarbonate because the excess sodium in your diet may elevate blood pressure. Personally, I find that sodium bicarbonate makes me feel ill, and so I do not recommend racing with it if that is the case for you. Finally, dietary supplements. Athletes, particularly female athletes, are prone to iron deficiency, so it's important that athletes get their iron levels checked regularly. And in the case of insufficiency or anemia, supplement with iron under your doctor's supervision. Athletes also have very high sweat rates, and some may deplete their calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D levels. It may be necessary for you to supplement with calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. If that is the case, you should check with your doctor to see if that is necessary. Neither of these will likely enhance performance, although being anemic will definitely be detrimental to performance. Okay, some dietary supplements that possibly perform as claimed. One is beta-hydroxymethylbutyrate. It's supposed to reduce muscle breakdown. Realistically, the data supports this only working in older people, older athletes. Ribose may help resynthesize muscle ATP. However, ribose is usually more than sufficient in a normal diet. So it's questionable whether either of these two dietary supplements will actually aid performance. And here are some dietary supplements that do not perform as claimed. There's carnitine, arginine or citrulline, and chromium picolinate. These are suggested to increase fat oxidation or boost nitrogen oxide or help build muscle. They have fancy marketing and fancy containers, and they're expensive and they don't work. Save your money. And finally, dangerous banned or illegal supplements. EPO, erythropoietin, boosts red blood cell counts. It's dangerous and can cause stroking if too much is taken and an athlete becomes dehydrated. Anabolic steroids are banned. It can be dangerous in excess, as are precursors of the male sex hormone testosterone. Thyroid hormones can increase lean body mass. These are banned. Stimulants such as epinephrine are banned. And human growth hormone is banned, as is taking blood or any blood volume substitutes. Getting an infusion is banned. Please explore the full list at the World Anti-Doping Association via this website, and make sure that you're only taking legal and safe ergogenic aids and supplements. Furthermore, I'd say that athletes should only use ergogenic supplements under the supervision of a doctor. It's important to know that supplements can be tainted and often do not contain the advertised ingredients. So taking a supplement may place you at risk of getting banned from competition. Always look for the USP label when considering a supplement for sports. The USP, the US Pharmacopoeia, means that that supplement is is checked and should contain the ingredients that are on the label. Thanks so much. Hope you enjoyed this brief look at ergogenic aids and supplements. This is the references and disclaimer page. The reference textbook that most of these videos follow is Understanding Nutrition by the authors Rolfs and Whitney. That's I use the 15th edition by Cengage Publishing. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called Nutrition, Fast and Fun. There's lots of great videos that you'll find there. And finally, there's a medical disclaimer. You should read the medical disclaimer to make sure you fully understand your rights and responsibilities. Thank you and have a great day.